Hi everyone, welcome to the Devops class. And as I said in the course walkthrough, we will start with the Linux file system. So in order to perform any Linux commands and there is a software called Git Bash, which is very much helpful to the users on the Windows. So the people who have installed it on the Windows, you can open the Git Bash from the terminal from the start menu by typing Git Bash. So as I already provided the link to it, so you can download it from the, you can just type in git bash and go through the git SEM source code management, and you can download the Windows version of the software, whether it is 32-bit or a 64-bit. So you can download and click next and install. You can follow the instructions on the once after you download and try to install it. So once you are done with the installation, you can get the software in your terminal. Sorry, you can get the software installed in your machine, and you can access the software from the start menu just by typing git bash. So the people who are practicing on the Linux machines or the Mac, so you need not worry about it. So it's good to have it, but you can utilize your own terminals, whether it is a Mac terminal or a Linux terminal. Yes, so quickly jump into the session. So the commands that we used in the Linux are ls to list the files in the current directory. So I just wanted to see where and all I'm trying to see the ls command. So ls is giving me this output, but I wanted to see the current directory. So you can use the command clear to clear the screen, and you can type in pwd to print the working directory. So I am at users in a users folder. So I will just type in ls and we'll see like what are the files available, and so that I can pick any one folder to navigate next. So I could see there is a desktop folder. I wanted to change my directory into desktop, so I can type in cd, which stands for change directory, type in desktop, so that currently I am in desktop. So I can do an ls to see like what are the folders which are available. So yeah, so just create a directory. So if I wanted to create any directory, so cd is to change directory. If I wanted to create any directory, I can use the command called mkdir devops course or devops course. So I will now change the directory into my devops course. So I will type in ls. Do you see any files over here? No files. So the command to create an empty file is touch. Touch my, let's say, log file. So ls. So I have only one file which is called log file. So if I wanted to see like what are the permissions, when it got created or when it got last updated, some kind of little bit information on the file, you can use the command called ls-l. So ls-l will give you the information about all files which are listed in the current directory. So in the current directory, you have only one file called log file. So let me create another file called file1. So how can I create the empty file? Touch file1. So if I do ls hyphen l, you could see there are two files. If I wanted to see the information of only one file, I can pass on that file name to the ls-l, the file name, which is log file. So you can see the information like when it got updated or when it got created. So created or updated. This is the time we can see the file got created or updated, and the group or the this stands for the memory of that particular file. So how much space that file consumes, or what is the size of that file. So touch will create you empty file so that it doesn't have any content inside it, or like there is no file, there is no content inside that file. So it tells you the group and the username, and you can see the permissions. So this is an important and the interesting stuff. Let us quickly go one step back. So you can, to move a directory one step back, which is to, I wanted to go to the desktop level. So you can type in cd double dot. So it will take you a one directory. So earlier we were in DevOps course, now we are in desktop. So here if you type in ls-l, so there are a couple of files, but I wanted to see for the folder which I created, ls-l DevOps course. So yes, ls hyphen l. You could see for few set of the files is DevOps course. For DevOps course, the file permission you could see as the first bit, it is telling you whether it is a directory or a file. If it holds a value D, it is a directory. If it doesn't hold any value, it is a file. And rest of the 9 digits is going to tell you about the permissions. So each 3 digits will represent whether it is a read permission or a write permission or an execute permission. The same way read, write, execute, or the same way read, write, execute. So what does this three set of read, write, execute permissions is telling us? The first 3 digit read, write, execute tells us that these permissions are for the user. So user have the permissions of read, write, and execute. And the next 3 digits represent the permissions which group has. So the group has only read and execute. Group doesn't have write permissions. And the third set of read, the 3 digit number says the permissions of others, like anyone who can access the machine who doesn't belongs to the group or who doesn't belongs to, who need not be the same user. They have the read access and the execute permission, and also there is no write access to them. So managing these permissions is very much important, and it is important to learn. So let us quickly learn the how come the Linux will try to understand, like how come these bits are being interpreted by the Linux kernel, so that we can use the chmod commands. So we, let's try to see. I will explain you. So what are the permissions did I say? First, there are 10 bits. First bit, second bit, second set of 3 bits, and third set of 3 bits, and fourth next third set of 3 bits. So first bit stands if it is set, if it is for any value, there is only one possibility, like whether it is 1 or 0, whether it is 1 or 0. So it's a binary number, binary number, so that you could have a doubt, like you are telling binary, like it might have value 1, but why are we able to see this as D over here? So D, R, W, X, these are the words which are translated by the Linux, or by the kernel, to show us like for a readability. So D if it is like 1 1 1 1 1 0 1 1 1, if it is like that, we cannot understand like what is the, it's not very easy to understand, right? So we have to take a paper and write down like, okay, this is being set as one, so it is D, it is a directory. So instead, so these values like 1 or zeros are translated to show us like the permissions which are like the whether it is a directory or a file, to make us understand or to make the viewer to quickly understand like what is the permissions or what, whether it is a file or a directory. So let's say, so whenever it is 1, it will be translated to D, so that we can quickly assume, we can quickly understand that okay, this is a directory. If it is a file, it will be set as 0. So no much big logic. So it will be either R, D or 0. So take out this bit and now we will see the permissions. So as I said, it would be, if it is, if it is 1, if it is like the first bit is 1, it will be read. If the second bit is 1, it is write. If the third bit is 1, it stands for execute. The same way, if it is 1, read. If it is 1 again, it is write. If it is 1 again, it is execute. So let's say if we so read, write, execute. So, what are the possible combination of numbers we can have starting from either 0 or 1 or 0 or 1 or 0 or 1 in each 3 bits? So let's say I have 3 bits. Here, first digit I can either have 0, second digit either I can have 0, and third bit either I can have 0. The same way I can have 0 0 1 or 0 1 0 or 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 or 1 1 0 or 1 1 1. So how many possible numbers I can have, and what else we are missing? There should be 1 1 1 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 0. Yep. So yeah, this 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0 and 0 1 1, and again 1 0 0 and 1 0 1 1 1 0 and 1 1 1. So actually there is this binary to octa conversion. So we can have each digit, let's say if it is like single digit, either it is a 0 or 1. Since it is a single bit, we can consider as 2 power of 0. So it could be either 0 or it could be either 1. So if we have two digit number, let's say, what are the possibilities of two digit number? 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. So you need not worry much about this number system, guys. So just to make sure, like to understand like what exactly these permissions and what are we going to learn, and there is some short method also to understand the permissions and change the permissions. So just try to understand this binary conversion. So here 0 0 stands for 0, which is like 2 power 0 and 2 power 1. So 2 power 0 we will consider when it is 1. So 2 power 1, there is no bit. So there is no 2 power 1. So 2 power 0 is 1. And now for 2 power 0, there is no bit. So which means 2 power 0, there won't be anything. And for 2 power 1, yeah, there is 1 bit. So 2 power 1 is 2. So for 2 power 0, there is a bit which is 1. And for 2 power 1, there is a bit which is 1. So 2 power 1, which is equal to 2, and it is being set, so which is 2 power 0, because I am giving 2 power 0 because it is in the zeroth position. 1 1. So 1 is in a 0th position and 1 is in 10th position. So like first digit I will start from 0 and the second digit I will give 1. So it gives 2 power 1 is 2 and 2 power 0 is 1. So which is equal to 3. The addition of these two numbers will give you 3. So 0 1 2 3. The possible numbers in a binary representation of two digit number are 0 1 2 3. Clear? And now let us try to translate them here. So all three, which is 0, so which is at 2 power 0th position, so it is 1, and it is at 2 power 1 position, so 2 power 1 is 2, and 2 power 1 and 2 power 0 both are set, so which is 3. So 2 power 0 is not set, 2 power 1 is not set, 2 power 2 is set, so 2 power 2 is 4. So here 2 power 4 is set and 2 power 0 is set. So 4 plus 1, 5. And then same way, so 2 power 2 and 2 power 1. So which is 4 plus 2, which is 6. So all the three digits are set, which is 4, 2 power 2, 2 power 1, 2 power 0. So 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is 7. So 8 octa number. So this is the representation of octa number. So now if all three are set, what does that mean? It is 111, which is 7. So if you wanted to give all permissions to each and everyone like user, group and other, so there is a command called chmod, change the mode of a file to 7, stand for read write execute for the user. Again 7 stands for read write execute for the user group, and again 7 stands for the read write execute permission for the others also, and mention the file name, something like log file. So you cannot practice this command on the Windows because the file system on the Windows is NTFS, so NTFS file format cannot support this change mode command. So this command is useful when you try to change the permissions in the Linux command terminal, or you can practice this on a Mac also. So let's say I wanted to give a permission called read and execute, read and execute, only read to the others. How can I give? So something like read to the other group also. See, for example, you can see, I will give this one. You can take the example read write, something like this one, some file desktop.ini. So there is a permission like read write only, and read to the group and read to the others. So you can see the command. Now you can translate. How can you translate? So the first bit and the second bit. So which stands for 110. 110 is 6. So chmod 6. So what does this permission will give you? Read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, write, execute. And now 6. And this is 100. What does 100 stands for? 4. And this is also 100, which stands for 4 of log file. What would be the resultant of this particular command? It would be read, write, and read and read for the file log file. So there is a method which is simple method you can understand. See here, what do we have? Only, so let's say the initial permission of the file is read, write, execute, and read, write, execute, and read, write, execute of log file. This is the initial permission. So from this, if you would like to make this achieve these particular permissions, you can run this particular commands. So alternate, so there is an alternate which you can easily remember is chmod. Very important, guys, so you can listen here. Chmod, what kind of permissions you would require. So from the original, you wanted to remove the execute for the user. So you can give u minus x minus because you are removing a permission. So let's say from here you are removing write and execute. What did I say for this one? It is a group permission. So you can say G minus. G stands for group. So you are removing write and execute. And the third permission stands for others. So for others, you are removing write and execute and the file name. So instead of converting them into some numbers or remembering these digits, so you can easily say like, okay, here for the user they removed execute. So I will say u minus x. Here for a user they removed write and execute. So I will remove group g minus wx. And here for an others they removed wx, so I will remove others minus wx. So suppose you wanted to same the alternate command for this one also, you can execute chmod. So from this level of permission, if you wanted to achieve this permission, what you can do, same thing, whatever you have removed you can add it back, which is like u plus x, g plus wx, o plus wx, and the file name. So just try to understand this, guys. Chmod, let's say u stands for the user, plus stands for addition, minus stands for deletion. So if you wanted to add, use plus. If you wanted to delete any permission, use minus. And then g stands for group, and then o stands for others. So chmod is like very important command, so you can remember. So let's now jump on to the folder. So cd devops course. Let's see what are the files we have. So I wanted to edit a file. So I can use the software called Vim log file. So when I say Vim log file, it just open the file, not in a insert mode. So insert mode means you can start editing the file and you can observe whether it is in insert mode or not by looking at the bottom of screen. You can type the alphabet I from your keyboard, so that will lead you, take you to insert mode. So I just typed I button from my keyboard, which took you to insert mode. So now you can start typing some content in it. So start typing content after hitting the button I from keyboard. So to save this file, type escape button or hit hit just hit the escape button and type in colon WQ, which stands for write and quit. So escape colon, you can observe at the bottom of screen colon WQ. Now the file is being saved. So you can see the content of file using cat. So cat, the file name, will show you the content of file. So this is the message which I typed in inside my file. Clear? Now we'll see. So there is another command which is used called echo to print some messages. So any message like you wanted to print on the screen, so you can use the command called echo. So echo will just print the any message or any variable which is being set. Let's say a is equal to 1. So now I can, so to print a variables you need to use dollar. So dollar, what is my variable? A. So don't consider by this dollar. So not usually any variable will be called using a dollar symbol. Let's say dollar $a. So the value for a is printed. Now I wanted to input, I wanted to write my file without opening it, without opening any VIM or, without opening any editor. So using echo also, or echo or cat or whatever might be the command. So with if you wanted to just write into a file, you can use an arrow mark. So let's say echo inserting a line into file. So let's say you can use this arrow mark, which is single arrow mark. So now cat the file one. See, inserting a line into the file. So let's say clear my screen. Echo inserting second line. What do, let's say let's try arrow mark. Now you observe the change. Cat file one. See, it doesn't have the it have the content like insert second line, but where is my first line? So arrow mark greater than symbol is used to write into a file. So it will wipe out the content from file and start writing from the first line. If you wanted to start appending to the file, you have to use the double arrow. Let's say echo dollar my first line. I am using single arrow to type into file one. And what you should see now? You should see only the my first line. Since I used arrow mark, it should wipe out everything which is already exist and print what is being written. What was wrote into the file just by the previous command. So my first line. Let's use the double arrow now. Echo my second line, which is double arrow file one. Now you can just cat the command, see the output of file one. So my first line exists inside the file and my second line also exists. So you can just view the content using the Vim editor also. You can open it. So you could see there are two lines. So during the course, we do have just make a note of the commands which are being written, and I do have shared with you. So what have we learned? Vim we have learned like it's a software. So cat to display the content and a co and make directory. Now we will see like copy and like how we can see the content of the files. Let's say I have two files. Let's say log file. I wanted to copy. I'm just trying to perform some activities on the log file. So I just wanted to make sure that this will be taken copy, or this is taken as a backup. Let's say CP copy. CP stands for copy, log file, the source file name, and the now destination file name. Let's say log file. BKP stands for backup. Just as a remember. Let's say do an ls. Okay, now the file has been copied. You can see the content of it by using Vim editor or the cat. So yes, the log file has been copied. So the command colon q and exclamatory mark to save without exit, to quit without save. What is the command? Just you can go to the insert mode, and if you wanted to just save without, sorry, quit without saving, so you can use, so quit without, so you can use the colon q and exclamatory mark. So for now I'm just saving this file, and next time, so that you can have this as a reference. So I'm now saving without, so I am now quitting without saving. So any changes made to the file will not be saved by using the command like colon q and exclamatory in the Vim editor. Now let's say this file name doesn't looks to me good. I wanted to change the file name. So what is the command? Move. MV is the command to move or rename a file. To rename or move a file, use the command mv. What source file name and what is the file name which I want? Let's say bscup backup. So now see how many files exist. There is no file called bkp. It's been moved, or it's been renamed to log file backup. Now you wanted to see like how many, what is the difference. So you have made some changes to the log file backup, and you do, there are some changes to the log file also. See, log file has been copied to log file backup, and you have made an entry, a new line entry saying like some content inside it. You can see just by typing wc, which stands for word count. Let's say just by, you can type in wc, which says like line count, word count, and the character count. So you can just type in quick for a reference, very useful command, which is wc-l, which will quickly give you 2 lines in the log file, and it says 3 lines in the log file backup. So which clearly tells you like there is some good amount of difference. Like these are 2 lines in it, there are 3 lines in it, so that you can say okay, these two files are not same. So you can use the command diff to see the difference between these two files. So diff used for, so you can see what is the difference between them. So there is a difference in the destination file. So this greater than tells you the destination file, less than tells you in the source file. So you can, if you just try to interchange the file names while trying to perform the command, now it will tell you like there is a difference in the less than symbol, which is like source file. So there is this new line which is being deferred between these two files. And you can type in, if you wanted to learn any command, just type in hyphen help. So we'll give you all the possible values, or like all the possible commands for this particular the command, which whether it is diff, like what are the additional parameters diff can take and all. So you can just whenever you wanted to learn about any command, you can use that help also. And there is a variable called print env, which will hold all the environment variables. So you can just see like each variable. So if you wanted to just try to understand like whether what is the variable that is being set in the temp, temp is being set, or any variable like the environment variable which is being set. So you can use that command called print env. And there is an important commands that which we have discussed are like yeah, to remove a file or a directory. And also we have learned mkdir, right? So if I just wanted to create a folder structure like dir1, and inside dir1 directory 1 I need a directory 2, and inside directory 2 I need a directory 3. So instead of running a command mkdir directory 1 and then moving inside directory one cd, ideally what we will do, like, and then we will perform a command called cd dir1, and then we will perform another command, we will run another command called mkdir directory2. Instead of that, you can use an option called hyphen p. Mkdir hyphen p will create the entire path. So just hit this command. Now see, you can use the command called find dot to display the entire tree of the current directory. So the tree structure, like the file structures at the current directory, you can use the command called find dot. So mkdir hyphen p have created the entire path. See, dir1, dir2, and dir3. It created dir1. Inside dir1 there is dir2. Inside dir1 and dir2 there is a directory called directory3. So let's say ls. See, you have a directory 1, and again do an ls here. There is a directory 2. Do an ls here, and there is a directory 3. Clear? So you can use the double dot. As I said, you can come a step prior to the directory. So now let's do an ls. So I want to remove the log file backup. So I can use the command rm to log file and the rm and the file name. So rm and file name will give you, it will remove the file. Clear? Let's say sometimes I wanted to make sure that I wanted to uh, remove the file, but I am not sure, like if you are trying to remove some sort of files and you are not sure, like you just wanted to again confirm that whether it you wanted to perform the command or not. So in that say, you can run the rm command in an interactive mode, so that whenever you perform the rm, which is like deletion of the file, because it cannot be reversed. So once you remove the file, it's gone. So it will ask you, so do you want to remove this file? If you type no, it's not gonna run the command. So you can use the hyphen I option to interactively remove the respective file. And let's say you have so you are in the directory 2 and you wanted to remove the dir3. So you can use rm. Let's try removing the directory. What it says, you cannot remove directory 3 because it's a directory. To remove the directories, you can use the command called hyphen d. Hyphen d will delete only empty directories. Remember guys, hyphen d will remove the only empty directories. So now the directory 3 is being removed. So now come to the step where you have the directory 1. So ls, you have directory 1. Now try to delete the directory 1 using the hyphen d. Try to delete directory 1 using the option called hyphen d. Is the directory 1 is empty? No. Directory 1 have a another subdirectory called directory 2. So what does it say? Directory is not empty. So in that case, you can use the command, which is recursive command option. So rm hyphen r directory 1, which will delete. So rm hyphen I for interactively deleting, and rm hyphen d to delete empty directory, and rm hyphen r to delete recursively. Clear? Now we have seen wc-l and we have seen the content of the files, and you know now just try to see like ls and cat the log file. So you have this content. So let's try to do this multiple times into a file. Let's try to cat the log file, create an empty file. Let's see what is there in the file 1. Yeah, there is my first line and second line. So write down the content of log file into append the content of log file into file 1. So how can you do it? Cat log file, single arrow will overwrite file 1. So double arrow will append into file 1. So now what would be the content of file 1? You see my first line, second line, which are the content of my file 1 and the content of log file. So let's do this, couple of times so that those two lines gets appended multiple times, and you can see the content of file 1, some huge content, right? So you can do this also. You see, if you try to input into the same file, it won't work. So let's try this one into the log file. There is a purpose which I am trying to do this, guys. So just try to understand it. So yeah, now you can see the cat file 1. So let's say whenever you do this one, let's try it again and then perform it. Now just cat file 1. Were you able to see like all the lines of that particular file on the screen? No, there are few lines which are being missed on the top. So in order to do that, what you have, there is a command called less and the file name. So just clear the screen, less file 1. So this will print you. Less is only to show you the content. It's not to modify, or you cannot modify, or you cannot do any file alteration on the screen. Less will just display you the file content from the beginning of the line. So you can just keep on reading it, and if you wanted to move to the next line, keep hitting the enter button. So it will take you to the next lines. So the moment it reaches to the end of file, it will tell you like you reach the end of lines. So you can just keep on hitting enter. So it said you reach to the end. So you can type in the alphabet Q from the keyboard. So come out of it. So less will just display the content from the beginning. So when the file size is huge, instead of using the cat, you can use the command called less. So cat, if you use it, it it will display you, but on the screen you cannot view the content properly. So you can use the less command. And what was the command to see the content? The length of file, WC line count. You can see the line count. So there are 66 lines. 66 lines is huge on a screen, so you better use the less command. So now just try to learn few other commands. Write down a file. Let's say mm, computation file. Let's say some another or file 2. Let's say file 2. In my file 2, I am just writing serial number, name, age. Serial number 1, name is Ram, age 10, number 2, Rahim, age 12, name 3, Santosh, age 30, name 4, Sagar, name 45, just some random names. So, Sandeep 37, again Santosh, 31, let's say number 8, another name, Naveen 32, name 9, again Sandeep 20. Okay, so we just wrote these values. So now if I wanted to just cat it, or there is another command to display top 10 lines of a file. So head will display you the top 10 lines of a file. So there is file 2, So file 2, let's type in some other, another number inside the file so that we can see the head command properly. Let's say 10 rom 10 again 11 rahim 12 again. Let's say head will display you the top 10 lines. Let's see, it just displayed you till the 9. There is no 10 and 11, it didn't display you 10 and 11. And the same way you can display the last 10 lines of a file using a tail command. So it displayed you there is no one first line and also the header which is serial number and name. So you can just pass on some additional number also. Let's say top one line. So if you just wanted to see the only top one line or top two lines, you can use the command head hyphen 2. What is that? File 2. So when it is useful, so you just wanted to see like what are the headers available. So you can see like headings available. You can see serial number, name, and age are available, and you can have the numbers which are available there, like the values which are available. If you wanted to see the last line, why do you wanted to see the last line? Because you wanted to know the last entry, the number, the serial number in the last entry. You can use tail hyphen 1. If you would like to know the last serial number in the line, you can use this tail hyphen 1. So this will display, okay, this is the last entry in the respective file. Clear? Now you can, let's see, cat file 2 is displaying you the content like this. If you wanted to display only the serial numbers or serial number and name, you can use the command called cut. Cut hyphen d stands for delimiter. The delimiter over here is comma, so give a comma without any spaces, and then when you perform this cut hyphen d, it will cut the file wherever this delimiter is there. So the moment you cut it, serial number will be field 1, name will be field 2, and age will be field 3. So you can specify which field you wanted to print. Field F stands for field, so field 1. So field 1, and the input is file 2. Sorry, I think I just, you have to type in the file name. So now you see serial number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. If you just wanted to print field 1 comma 2, it will print serial number and name. Or if you just wanted to see only the name and age, you can just type in field 2 comma field 3. So it will just give you name and age. And in this one, let's say I just wanted to print the only names. So when I am printing the names, I could see there are few. So let's say if you wanted to see some information in the, like, let's say, is there a name called Santosh in the file? So there is a command called grep. So grep will search for a pattern in the file. So let's say your grep, you're trying to search in the file using the name called Santosh. So yeah, there is a name called Santosh. So how can you search using the, so when you type grep and when you are searching, it's a case sensitive. If you wanted to search in case sensitive, like you are searching using like this way by keeping s caps, so it's not going to result to any results. So in that case, you can use the option called hyphen e, which is in case sensitive. So you can just type in the word which you wanted to search, and it will give you the results. Now, so you can use the cut command and the grep commands, very much useful, and the grep is also like very much useful command. So now just try to perform like you wanted to see the unique number of names in the, like, unique number of user names. Let's say cut hyphen d, the delimiter is comma, and you wanted to type the field 2, which is the names. So the file 2. So what is the output? So this is the output. So but there are duplicate names, like, the Santosh. So you just wanted to know the unique names. You need not bother about whether they are different persons or not. You just wanted to see the unique occurrences of that particular name. So that you can, what you can do, you can pipe. So the pipe symbol is very much important in Linux. So pipe symbol will lead you, like, you can take the output of this line into the next line, and you can perform the command over there. So there is an option called sort hyphen u. This will sort the content of unique occurrences. So it will just sort them, and also remove the duplicates. So this way you can take the names, like, which are all available, like Santosh hasn't been repeated and Sandeep was not repeated. So you can, Ram Rahim was not repeated. So you can just take the, like, you wanted to see how many number of lines. So in the add again, you can just use the pipe and feed this input to the next command, which is wc hyphen l. There are 8 values and name is one of the values. So you can remove one count from it, and there are 7 occurrences, like 7 unique names. So if you just wanted to identify how many number of unique names available inside this file, you can use this command, like cut hyphen d delimiter comma, name is the second field. So after cutting that particular field, you wanted to remove the duplicates. To remove the duplicates, you are running the command called sort hyphen u, and again to get the count, you, after removing the duplicates, you wanted to count the number of usernames. So you are running the command called wc hyphen l, and which is giving you a result of 8. So from 8 you can take out the value name. So since that represents the header, so there are 7 unique names available. So what and all we have learned. So make directory, to make create a directory, and make directory, if you wanted to create entire path, what is the command? Mkdir hyphen p. So yeah, now let's say I'm typing vim. So when I just type vim, it is, it's trying to understand it as a program. So let's say someone comes you and will tell you, just type in some command, like, type in whether, just check whether a program is being installed or not. So let's say there is one software called jump. If you, whenever you run, it is trying to select, that command not found. So you can just hit a command where and type in the software you are searching. If you just type in vim, if it is installed, it will tell you where it got installed. So let's say where jump, it will say no, jump is not installed, it couldn't find such pattern. Just type in where docker. Since I have installed a docker in my machine, it is telling me where the docker is being installed. So where is used to display you whether a software is being installed in your machine or not. And move is to rename, or move, cd change directory, copy. ls is to list the files, and ls hyphen l is to list with information. So pwd stands for print working directory. Clear gives you clear screen, and where will give you the where command, like, where whether software is being installed or not. So rm, the different options, interactive mode, and deleting a directory. So this will be used when it will be used rm-d if the directory is empty. So if the directory is not empty, you can use the option called recursive rm-r and the directory name. Now, and there is, so sort, cut, grep we have learned, and less difference between source and destination files. And there is one quick thing which you can learn is, do an ls. You see log file and file 1 and file 2. Let's create a file 3 using, let's say, touch dot file 3. My file name is just dot file 3. Do an ls. Do you see the file over here? ls hyphen l, not even here. So if you, whenever a file name starts with dot, it is considered as a hidden file. In order to display that hidden file, you have to display all files. The all files option is called ls hyphen a. So ls hyphen a will give you all files. See, directories of this current directory and the dot file 3, file 1, file 2, log file. So if you just can type ls hyphen l and also a, which means will give you the information of all files, including the hidden files. So there is no space on this, like it's an empty file. So ls hyphen a or ls hyphen la is used to display the all files. ls hyphen a will display all files, including the hidden files, and ls hyphen la will display you the information along with the hidden files. So these are the commands. I do have already shared this particular file with you, so try to practice them, and good learning, guys.